Hi, everyone. My name is Bridget Richardson, and I'm the Assistant Director of Ecumenical and Pastoral Initiatives at the Nesty Center for Faith and Culture at University of St. Thomas in Houston. And I'm here with these lovely ladies. You've got Marianne Addis. She's a music teacher at Christ the Redeemer Catholic School in Northwest Houston. And her coworker, Gabrielle Bergeron, she's an art teacher at that same school. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and I used to work with these two Wonder Women, and they truly are the most innovative and interesting and kind people to work with. But also, you know, in this time of pandemic, they've had to adapt to moving their curriculum and their teaching online and to do things in a digital space. So both of you, could you just share about what that experience has been like from moving from a classroom setting where all your students are there and you get the hugs to now this digital space where you interact with them through all kinds of different digital media?
Yeah. Marianne, do you want to go first?
Sure. It is very, I want to say the word interesting, but it does feel like there's a big gaping hole in my pursuit of teaching. So, for instance, you know, music, there's like this an audience respond and reply, and it's very difficult to do that in a digital form. Yes, music can be incorporated in a way to where you can do a lot of digital like editings and stuff. Like I know I have friends who have taken like their singers and compiled them into a file to where we can enjoy the music of it, but it's not teaching. It's just being fancy with the edits on the other end. And so that is what I really miss. It's just like hearing the mistakes or working with the kids, being hands-on. I think we're all missing that at hands-on situation. And so you really have to like forget all that you learned in school and learn a new way of teaching and having to ask yourself, is this beneficial? Is this working? I can't tell. I can't look at this child and see if he or she is grasping the concept. You know, I did a lesson with a kindergarten group last week where I read like a story, but it had like two tones, so and me. And so I wanted them to join in with me when I did those two pitches, but they're on mute. So I had to be like, great job, guys. And so I had to like make that, I felt it just wasn't the same. So that's one of the biggest struggle is just that reciprocating relationship of working with the kids.
Yeah, I feel the same way as Marianne. Like I've been missing that aha moment that you get with a student when you know, explain how to do something. And art is so hands-on that it's so much easier to show somebody in person how to do something. And yeah, that's been the biggest struggle for me, is just missing that like aha moment when you see a kid really engaging in an art lesson or like getting a new concept. That's kind of, I feel like, one of the best joys of teaching. And so this has just been a little bit of a change, and with it has come other good moments too. And I've pretty much just tried to like make little videos and stuff, but it's still not the same as like being in the classroom and getting that hands-on experience like normal. So it's definitely been a transition.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, like the things that y'all have had to do to adjust, like to make the best of it and also try to engage your classrooms and your students. Both of you have been doing some things that I think are really cool and interesting. So if you just want to share some of those things that you've been doing.
All right, well, I've been making these little videos. Basically, I had very little knowledge of iMovie, so I pretty much just took what I knew and did more research and stuff, and I just started seeing what other art teachers out there were doing. There's a few that I've really looked up to, and Cassie Stevens was one of them, and she pretty much immediately started making these little engaging videos, and I pretty much just, I feel like I'm a great value. I try to be a great value version of her, of like what she does, and then I just take it and kind of remold it to what I feel like our students will like better. And so I'll just try to do something a little bit funny to get them engaged and just get them excited and get their mind off of everything that's going on, and then do my mediocre editing skills or whatever in iMovie, and then we'll upload that like about once a week. See, I knew somebody was going to text me.
Yeah. Not even mediocre. I have to say, it's on a professional level. I'm telling her that, like, when I watch Gabby's video, I feel like, I don't know, I'm in a whole new world, which that's for me. I can't imagine the kids being into that whole new world of creativity. And I love that her subject matter are all positive, like, I don't know, they're just positive themes. I think the first one was like some kind of note. Another one, like she just did like a 70s like tie-dye. I didn't know you could do foil with tie-dye, so I went and tried it. I mean, so I'm having fun with that, but I would not say mediocre. They're just like a whole new level. And in fact, I didn't tell Gabby this. I did some research because I was curious what other art teachers were doing. Not so I can just be like, oh, yours is better or whatever. Yours is better. I really thoroughly enjoy. I get kind of sad when I'm like, oh, she didn't put a video out. I want to see the next video. So that's me. I can imagine the children and the students just like.
Yeah, that's been one of the best things is when I'll get a text from like my friends or family that I'll just send them, and I'll just send them the video just because I'm like, oh, hey, if you're bored and you want to watch this video, and they'll ask me like when a new one's coming out. And I was like, this whole time, I just did not think it was anything, so, and that's rewarding too, when I'll get like positive feedback from the kids and see that they're getting creative, or that like my family or friends who are not artistic in any way, or they say they're not, and they'll be like, this video made me want to go do tie-dye paper or whatever. And it's the same for me. I've learned so many new like household art things. So, but Marianne has also been doing a lot of really engaging stuff for her students too.
Yeah, I hadn't done more. I do have an iMovie project coming out. I saved it toward the very end of the school year. And so, okay, so we typically have a performance with the middle school kids. And this last year was Best of Broadway. This year was like Best of 70s. And we have been rehearsing since January, since we came back from winter break. So obviously it's canceled. So I thought it'd be fun, since I do like TikTok, and I'm sure the kids do as well, that we could do like little small videos in a TikTok kind of way. And then I'm gonna compile them, make them interesting, and iMovie and stuff like that. Gabby has some cool artwork we may throw in of that. She and I are gonna be in it. I'm excited. So that's gonna be our big little performance at home version. So that one's coming up. I'll be honest, so since I sing with the Houston Symphony, they have kicked it up a notch. Like, they have these amazing at-home videos. And at first I was like, okay, I can make a silly video or something, but they do it so much better, and they play a tons of instruments. And I thought it'd be cool, since we did take some of the students to go to the symphony before the coronavirus broke out, that they get to see these people in their own homes. I don't know, it's almost like seeing like Jimmy Fallon at home, like someone famous but in their own home setting. So I put out like a plan of what the symphony has each day, so if they want to engage in it, they can look at it, and I've learned a lot of things from them. So I've really enjoyed seeing what the Houston Symphony has done for the families. I know the parents appreciate it.
Yeah. I love that, like, we both kind of found our own way of doing this, that, oh my goodness.
We're sorry, it's the MacBook. Like,
I knew it. I knew somebody was going to text me during this.
There's lots of benefits. However,
You're always in contact, right? You're always available.
That one person, like, I haven't talked to in forever. It's like, oh, hey, but yeah, I just wanted to say, I love how me and Marianne have found our own way of doing distance learning. I remember in the beginning when we were trying to navigate this, I remember us being like, you were kind of like, I don't know about the videos, but I want to try that. And I kind of wanted to do more of like the hands-on stuff that you were doing. Like you were working more, I feel, directly with the students. So that's been something that has really inspired me watching Marianne do. And I just like how both of us kind of found our own little area of distance learning that has worked at best for us.
Right. And I love that we're not comparing, contrasting, and stuff. I think in many ways we're encouraging each other.
Yeah.
And sharing like, well, I'm actually going to do this. Or I thought it'd be cool to pop into classes that have Zoom schedules and not let the kids know beforehand that I'm coming in. And that just warms my day just to see the kids that show up and do an activity. It's not perfectly the same, but it is a lesson within their class Zoom lesson. So
right.
I think those little touches, right? Like the little touches where you can still be that person, that mentor for them is so special. And so are there any other ways that you're trying to do that, like the classroom pop-ins and things like that?
They have some of the teachers, like Gabby and I, call a set of parents just to check up on them. It's called like a wellness calls. So they have it divided with like a few of us that have extra time to do it. And that's been nice because we actually like physically get to talk to the kids one-on-one. Yeah. So that's been nice. Gabby and I were actually on a video call with one of our students that was not in the happiest of moods. He was feeling kind of down, and it was an amazing conversation. Like, I've known this child for several years and never once had that kind of a conversation with him. I would do it almost every week. I mean, usually he and I, it was like a love-hate relationship, and it was such an amazing conversation. And the mother told us how happy he was, and I felt like the other way around, like, no, what he did for me was amazing. I had a nice connection. So that was nice to like Gabby and I just, carve some time to like really give our complete attention to a child who was struggling. And I mean, it's real, like the kids are struggling, especially if they haven't been interacting with other students, their age in this situation, like he has younger siblings, so it's like a pretty big age gap. So that's totally understandable that he's missing all these activities and stuff like that. And if Gabby and I provided 30 minutes of fun or a distraction, I think this is well worth it.
Yeah, I think that's what I've found is that's one of those, like that specific moment is one of those hidden blessings in all of this, is that, I mean, we both connected with that student in a way that I feel like neither of us really had. And we were able to really get to know him more. And I remember we hung up and we were just like, that was a really good conversation. And he was so open and just willing to share his own feelings through all of this. And he was just so mature about it. And we were like, that was just so good. And it was almost needed, I feel like, for both of us too. Like Marianne, like you said, we probably got more out of it than he did. But so yeah, we've been doing things like that. And a lot of us enrichment teachers are sitting in for other core teachers when they're doing one-on-one lessons. We'll just sit in just kind of as a liability thing for the Archdiocese. And that's been really fun I'll kind of chat with the students a little bit. I'm in a first grade class. I was paired with a first grade teacher, and they're just the funniest to watch on these like Zoom calls, and they're just like holding the phone like down here and like learning phonics. It's just so funny. And just getting to watch core teachers interact and how they've adapted to distance learning is so cool too. I've been paired with a really awesome teacher who she's doing an amazing job. So just watching that kind of inspires me too. So
yeah, and in terms of, I love how y'all are really able to target in on some of the areas that, when you're in a larger classroom setting, you're just not able to. And it's not like your classrooms are huge, it's maybe like 20-ish kids or something. maybe even less than that. But even to have a phone call with one student where you give them your undivided attention, like, how do you think that probably impacted that student and could impact other students? Because I know you two are probably some of the most loved teachers on that campus, whether you'll say it or not. I can say it, but for them to have your undivided attention, I could just see them thinking that's just, the best thing in the world.
And I also think that it's important that the parents, like, I was appreciative that the parent came out and said, my child would like to talk to, two teachers or so, PE or whatever teachers. I'm really glad for that parent to reach out. Because I think at first you're probably like, oh, maybe she's kind of, a little, her emotions are a bit heightened. But I think that was so good, because otherwise we would not receive the reward of talking to him. So it's good that parents are, I think, little by little being honest with their situations, and you know what, I think I'm going to reach out to an administrator and see if it's possible for my child to talk to a teacher one-on-one and not have to sit there and do a lesson. I think something that didn't require a lesson or something like that. So
it's just one of those things, like, you build that rapport in the classroom when you're together. And for me, I feel like those things build when I'll be working one-on-one with students and going around, especially the kids who are around his age. And that's when you really get to know them and their feelings toward art and everything. That's one thing that I really miss. That's the biggest thing that I miss with teaching. It's just that, like, one-on-one rapport time with building those relationships. So that's why I want more parents to reach out to us, because for enrichment, we've been busy doing our own activities and everything, but sometimes I feel like we're kind of forgotten by the parents, because they're reaching out probably more to the core teachers for help with things like that. And we're like, we're over here too, and we miss your students too, and I hope they miss us. And so, I was thinking that, I was like, I hope more parents feel comfortable reaching out to us, and so that we can keep building that, because that is something that is so hard with this kind of learning, is that one-on-one time.
And it speaks to the heart of Catholic education, right? When you think of parents as co-educators along with the teacher and their peers. So how do you see maybe this experience both empowering parents to see that they can be a part of this journey, but you're the resource, like you can be there also to help shepherd as well? How do you see that relationship just growing for the betterment of their student?
Well, I know that they need to hear it. So I know personally, when I've done the wellness calls, and I do it too, I'm at fault. If somebody asks me, how are you doing? Fine. We're all fine. We're all good. In the background, you hear like kids like screaming and stuff. But so I made sure to ask at least 3 times throughout the phone call and go, if there's anything that you would want or need, please don't hesitate to let me or the principal know. We're here for you. We know it's a whole new situation. We know it's not easy. We may not have all the answers or the solutions, but please don't hesitate. Feel free, to do that. So that's what I've been doing, because I would want a teacher or administrator to say that to me during these difficult, trying times, So I think having that outlet for them to talk, and I'm sure that, some of them do. Some of them really just, like, I remember one parent in particular, she was just, just getting it all out. She was emotional. And then she said, but there's no need to tell the administrator. I just wanted to get it all off my chest. And so I felt I was helping her, not so much just her children, her students, but I was helping her. And I think that's also important, that we're so focused as teachers on the child, molding the child, mind, body, and soul, but they're also with their parents. I think it gave that opportunity to also provide that for the parents as well. Almost like little counselors,
right,
for the parents and the kids.
Me and Marianne are definitely on the same wavelength like that. I think I really enjoyed the wellness calls as well. I see why they wanted to put that into place and use us in that way as well, just because I've had a lot of similar parent interactions with the calls. Some of them, you know, they keep it short and sweet, and some of them are like, I'm doing fine, you know, like I have one child, I'm doing okay. And then other ones are like, I have 3 kids and me and my husband are working and we just can't do it all. And they're, you know, they need support as well from us and from the school. And I think this was a great way to do that because, you know, both me and Marianne, you know, we're both single, we don't have kids. And, you know, so I was thinking about that, especially when I was talking to the parents. I was like, I don't know exactly what they're going through. You know, they're trying to basically work 2 jobs. They're a teacher and whatever they're doing, you know. And I'm grateful that we have the wellness calls as well to kind of give that support to the parents as well.
And so kind of to just put it all together, how do y'all see, you know, even though this experience is really hard for everybody and the parents, you know, I love that y'all are ministering to both the parents and the students. How do you hope that maybe this is a time for families to come together as their family unit, but also to see your whole entire school community is there for one another as a way to support one another throughout hard times, through good times? How do you see this as, you know, just a reflection of that?
I'll go first this time since you
change it up. We'll change it up.
Yeah, I mean, I've really seen the school. I've been really impressed with how, you know, every member of the school, the administration, the faculty, the parents, everybody, it kind of seemed like whatever maybe animosity or differences that may have been going on, everything was kind of put on the back burner and everyone banded together. It was really powerful to see, and just everybody is putting their best foot forward and just trying to do what's best for the school. And you know, and especially from the administration, I've seen them, you know, supporting us so much, especially like our principal. He'll meet with us once a week, which just almost, you know, little things just with how the school's running or whatever, but also kind of to check in with how we're doing. And I think that that's helped as well. But yeah, Marianne, do you have anything to add?
I love that our principal does check up on, he hasn't forgotten about, you know, and we call ourselves enrichment team, just because these are the classes that are like PE, library, music, arts. We call it the fun group. I mean, all teachers are fun, but we're the fun enrichment group. So it's nice that we do get to, and then I love that we talk with each other and we try to figure out ways. I think that's why our enrichment like videos and assignments are there to help the families, not be like a demand. So we always talk about how we can do that. So I love that we're always on the same page with that. I know that I'm just assuming that there's going to be financial problems for like tuition and like low enrollment and things like that, like realities that we kind of don't want to think about. So, you know, the principal has been telling us like they have like 3 scenarios that could possibly happen in the fall. They're always saying like, if you need help financially, please contact us. So they're, you know, they are trying to, because, you know, Gabby and I only talked to 30 parents. There's like, you know, there's like what, 400 or 500 families at the school. So we want to have like a snippet of it. And so it's good that we know we're doing our part in the bigger scheme to help these families, because some of these families are essential workers. Some of them have like their parents living with them. And so it was just like, yeah, like Gabby's right, like we're single, we don't have those kind of situations in our own household, but it's just so astounding just to see that's happening and what we can do to help them. We may not solve it, you know, but I know that we're gonna just keep working hard till the end. And so, yeah. And I'm sure families are just like, oh my God, school's almost over. Please let us get there, you know. So we told ourselves, well, then we're gonna work just as hard until the end for them.
Great. And I do feel like being at a Catholic school in this type of setting is so great that everybody's kind of banding together in prayer as well. I think that's been, one of the biggest things I've clung to through all of this, and having a community that I know is doing the same, that we're all praying to kind of get through this together, has been really inspiring as well.
Well, ladies, y'all are doing the work of Christ, to say the least. I mean, trying to reach out to the students and keep them engaged, and also to give them just a little spot of joy and happiness. It's such a beautiful thing that y'all are doing, and y'all are fun and creative and, super fun to talk to. So that's just icing on the cake, not only for me, but I know for your communities as well. So thank you so much for having this discussion today, and I really appreciate both of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I know.
Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Bye.